All right, everyone. Now we move forward to the very last but not least session of the day, and post that we will begin with the award ceremony. And I'm expecting, like we have the full house right now, and I'm expecting in the award ceremony as well that we have full house. So I request everybody please be with us till the evening, and it's an honor to be here, to stand in front of such elite gathering. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining in. So moving forward, the next session is about the future of AI-enabled corporate learning. This session will be conducted by Ms. Sarita Chaudhary Chand, CEO, founder, Skills Caravan. Let me give a small brief about ma'am. Ms. Sarita is a seasoned entrepreneur and the founder of Skills Caravan, an AI-powered corporate learning platform that is revolutionizing employee engagement and skill transformation. With a stellar background that includes co-founding EduPristine, acquired by Adultum Global Education, and a track record of driving innovation in learning and development, Ms. Sarita brings a unique blend of entrepreneurial expertise and thought leadership. Recognized as the Best Alumnus Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 by SIBM Pune, she is also a passionate advocate for personalized learning and women's empowerment. Her insights on transforming corporate learning ecosystems, leveraging AI for skill development and fostering inclusivity would add immense value to your summit's discussions. With this, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Sarita Chaudhary Chand on the dais with some energy. Everyone, let's give her a huge round of applause.
Thank you everyone for having me. I'm here with my team, Shreya and Shakshi. And I'm not a learning professional like all of you, but I'm extremely passionate about learning. My love for learning started when I was 10-year-old. I come from a very humble family, a farmer's family in Haryana, and education was very important. And my father decided to put me in a very good boarding school. I flunked the entrance exam for that school, and my father gave me a very important lesson that it's okay, academic skills you'll manage, you'll work hard, build some life skills. And I started reading a lot of newspapers and business magazines. And that helped me a lot. Despite being an average child, I cracked the entrance exam for one of the leading Delhi University colleges, Shahid Sukhdev, and then got through SIBM Pune as well. There I continued the extra learning part, because now you wanted a day zero job, highest paying company. And thankfully, I got into Aditya Birla Group as a group management trainee. Again, the passion for learning continued. And I was doing some additional certification. But interestingly, they conducted a psychometric test. And they said, Sarita, you should be in a learning and development department. I said, no, sir, I'm a finance graduate. I would stay in finance. And I stick to finance in Aditya Birla, and then moved on to Goldman Sachs investment banking, my dream job. There again, I continued learning. I was pursuing a course which was not provided in the Goldman Sachs library. And then I said, okay, I've had it all, and I wanted to become an entrepreneur. So in my early 20s, left my dream job to start my first learning and development startup. It was called EduPristine, and it was for average professionals like me who really wanted to grow fast, wanted to take that extra effort of doing a lot of international certifications of professional skills. What started from one classroom grew to 11 countries. We trained over 500,000 people, most of them with 5 to 25 years of experience in professional skills. Yes, we started with a classroom, and we moved on to blended learning. And we sold off that company to a US listed company after 11 years, a successful startup exit. Very, very rare event. Then that passion for learning stayed. The passion for tech started. Entrepreneurship was there. And I wanted to do some community service. So started my NGO, Indic AI. I met a blind girl. She was in 8th class. And she said, I want to become an engineer. And I was very surprised. We were all talking about diversity and inclusion. I'm at a different level in D&I. So when I spoke to her, I said, how can you become an engineer? And then that's when a lot of NGO founders told us that there are accessible devices like screen readers. And now these children are studying in mainstream schools like DPS because they are able to read and write using their computers. So then second difficult part was content, creation, curation, whatever all of us do. And it was that all these children now are aiming for good colleges, but we don't have the accessible content. So one was all these NGOs, we know how heavily funded they are, minimum level of resources. How do we provide them the resources? So we reached out to a couple of edtech institutes who were owned by friends, and they provided, like if you, mainly what will it be around? So whether it was Vedantu, whether it was IMS for entrance exams, ADA 24/7 for government exams, Simply Learn for professional skills, all these institutes, they made their content accessible within 6 months. We had 500 plus courses from these leading providers at 100% scholarship in accessible format for our children. The child, Reema, is studying in IIM Rohtak today. My first blind child got placed in Goldman Sachs, and there was no looking back. So today, we have children studying in all IIT, IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, all blind children, Ivy League, Stanford, UI, UC, Champaign, and working with companies like Microsoft, Google, Aditya Birla, and so on. Here, yes, we are working with the Disability Ministry now. We give old laptops of companies like you to our blind children, get them digital accessible. So within 5 years, maybe we will have no blind children asking for scribes, and they'll be writing their own exams and studying in and working in organizations like all of yours. Now, once that was done, then again, I started my third learning and development startup. Felt there was no business idea, to be very frank. I had almost iterated 20, 30 of them, did not get anything. So I again enrolled into an executive MBA program from Kellogg, traveled every month to US. I had colleagues from 40 different countries, and realized even a college like Kellogg had content from 100 different libraries which was provided to us as an additional resource. And just connecting the dots, that for 500,000 people that we trained, there were approximately 1 crore people that we counseled. All of them were working professionals. Why are they going to these edtech institutes like us, Simply Learn, Upgrad, Unacademy? Why are they going? Because why can't we provide them the same resources within the organization? And that led to Skill Caravan. I think personally met around 100 to 150 CHROs and L&D professionals before we started, identifying the problem areas. Please, if you can download this, we have created many, co-created many part of the product, and need your inputs on which one do you find the most relevant. That gives us feedback, because I think we started with a SaaS product called a Learning Experience Platform. And my co-founder is an AI guy, and he's already telling me, Sarita, this is a dead product. Nobody will go to the, how many of us, visit, so in your organization, how many employees are actually using the HRMS or ERPs or learning management systems? I've heard this so many times that adoption for SaaS is becoming difficult. It'll become like the TV, which we have in our houses. Nobody wants to watch. So please scan this, and we'll have different slides. You can just mark whichever you feel is the most important for your organization. So these are the 4 components that Skills Caravan focus on. This is what we built 1.5 years ago, co-created with few clients, saw amazing success. We had 30 plus clients, 100% renewals. So this is a learning experience platform. I think I heard from a couple of you that, why can't we aggregate the data of learning and personalized learning? All of us want learning personalization. So this is something like a CIBIL score. Until unless we have captured all the learning data, how can we arrive at what personalization, what analytics should I run to personalize learning, not via modality? Somebody likes to read, somebody likes to listen, somebody likes to watch video, but even content-wise, who likes a classroom, who likes a hybrid, who likes a self-learning? So that's the kind of data. So what a LXP does is, it gets married to your LMS or your ERP. It has an inbuilt LMS. It captures the data point of your internal content, which comes from LMS, of your classroom content or hybrid content, which comes from your classroom training programs, then integrates also your external libraries. And once that data is captured, it kind of personalizes, AI-based recommendation starts working, and so that learning experience can be good. Our adoption rates are 85 to 90%. Credit goes to Shreya, she's sitting somewhere, L&D person who's from Flipkart, yes, there she is, and basically driving learning and designing the product in the right way. This was another pull factor that we did. So what we did was, we started identifying, knowing the problems from our client. And the second problem was that everything is becoming skill-based. We don't want to move from traditional job role to skill-based learning. So what do we do here? See, it's a very simple AI LLM model which is trained on 50 crore resume data. So how does it work? See, it will take your job roles from the organization. It will take details about your organization. And for every department, it will create a skill matrix, competency framework. Traditionally, we used to spend like consultants, few lakhs of rupees, 9 to 10 months of time. It gets generated in fraction of a second now. Once you upload your data, it creates skill metrics for every department. You can make changes to it, and you can add, delete, and it does not. In case we don't have good JDs, we don't have to worry, because when we are taking organization data, it's also mapping similar industries and giving you more insights. So once you create a skill matrix, you can even align it with your KPIs, because that's where I think a lot of us were also talking about how can we align learning to our business goals. What it will help us is to create individual development learning plans. My favorite part, here the system can do skill gap analysis for you. It creates AI-based assessments for you. It captures your aspiration, your learning requirement. It captures your manager's feedback. And it's a live system. Basis this skill gap analysis, your IDPs gets curated and gets assigned automatically in your system. This can be linked to your PMS. This can be linked to your KPIs. It can be linked to anything else you want to suggest us to. But the idea is to personalize and have pull-based learning in our systems. Now, because of having an AI co-founder who said everything will become conversational, AI. So to be very frank, being a finance graduate, did not even know the full form of SaaS, and now we have to spend enough time researching what agentic AI are. So as layman, as an HR graduate here. So here, this was the second part. And my favorite part, I think biggest problem for all of you, content marketplace. See, the question that I asked myself, that even in our NGO, had we tried to create all the content in accessible format for everything, for NCERT books, for entrance exams, for college books, which was happening, it would have taken them, I don't know how many years to do it. But only because you curated from the right providers and created in accessible format, you got it at no cost and fastest. So here what we do is, we realize that a lot of companies, we can't start creating every content. So what we do here is, your in-house library we provide you free. So whether it's compliance courses, professional skills courses, all those courses, thanks to Shreya again, who's worked in Flipkart and done this job before, she has created a micro library of courses preset which is provided in the system. Now, bigger concern was that when the IDPs are getting created, not every company wants to buy a library. And which library should we buy? Now, basis the TNI that happens, we can actually do a TNA and consolidate that, okay, these are the skill gaps in my organization, and this is the library that I need. I don't need the library which comes at a, has 10,000 courses, and we circulate that library. Rather, basis this TNA, we can identify what content we need. So what we did was, there are 5,500 courses which are available for free in some of these leading libraries, which we integrate with this, so that we can see the intent of our people who are keen on learning. And after that, what we can do is, it's a slightly different thought process. But what we do, so a lot of companies in US do it. Based on, say, we have 10,000 employees, and only 3,000-4,000 are interested, you can actually allocate them a budget. You already have a skill gap, and you can let them choose what they want. For example, if there are techies, they'll always like plural site more than LinkedIn or Udemy. If it's a senior leadership, they will always like a maybe 2-day online workshop with Kellogg or a 5-day IIT IIM workshop versus a Coursera course which I'm trying to, or a Harvard Business Manager which I have subscribed him to. So here, you pay for content basis consumption, not subscription. Only what you are doing is you have identified the learners, you have allocated them the budget, and the skill gap analysis is already done. So you will only be, even from 100 libraries, you can have recommendation. You can just have a simple recommendation, Sarita, you lack AI and leadership, your budget is 2 lakh, and these are the 4 programs from University of Texas, from IIT Delhi, from Simplilearn, from Coursera. Which one do you want to pick? If I consume, only then you pay for it. Otherwise, you don't have to pay for mine. And you rest assured, when you give the ownership of learning to people, you will see much higher engagement. So just one question. How many of you have done external certifications outside your college, outside your company's LMS LXPs? How many of you feel AI is going to take your job, so are willing to learn anything that can help you to retain your job? And does those courses lie in your libraries? So, thank you. Now what we moved was similar decision making. So now we are transitioning into skill-based workforce planning. And these are the dashboard we really, really need your feedback on. So simple, this is an AI impact dashboard. Today, Microsoft has fired 4% of their employees. If Microsoft is firing 9,000 people, they'll ensure they have created some AI tools and will roll it out in our companies, and our companies will fire people too. So this is a simple tool which shows you that what percent, and this we build with one of our NBFC client, it's a real data of 1,000 employees, which jobs are likely to get impacted by AI. Very simple. So something like loan processing officer, very high impact. What can we do with this employee, right? How much can it save if we move to AI and fire the people? That's what data says. This is skill metrics dashboard. So what it does is, in the same skill metrics that I'd shown you, it will actually show you that these skills can be, this work can be done by AI. For example, I have become replaceable in my organization because my entire job was writing emails, drafting marketing mailers, and I suddenly realized with a ChatGPT $20 login, all my work happened in less than 10 minutes. Like I give a prompt and my emails get drafted once the ChatGPT skill Caravan is trained. So here, it actually tells you that, okay, this email writing skill can be taken over by, or you can complement it with this. Your PPT making skill can be replaced by this. The deep research, market research that you used to do, for like my husband is a CFO of a public listed company. So what happens is before every call, he has to analyze 30 different balance sheets, 500 pages each. Now he puts it in ChatGPT, tells him to fetch certain kind of data. He analyzes that and he's ready, maybe 1/10 of the time that he normally spends. This is build versus buy versus automate. So this company wanted to hire 50 credit analysts. The company is growing. So the decision was, how many do we have whom we can skill to have better? For example, a lot of companies today say, hey, we need business analyst. No, you don't need business analyst. If you have Python coders, please move them to business analyst. You'll get much cheaper resource, much more loyalty, and you can hire more Python coders. Or you don't even need Python coders. You need some agents who can give prompts on getting Python coding done. What part should we hire, and what part of this job can be automated? Like you see there, 60% of the resources can actually come from inside. Only 30% is needed, and 10% of this task can actually be digitized through a tool. This is very interesting. This is again skill gap redundancy. What are the chances which skill is likely to become obsolete? By what tool? What should you learn to move ahead? This is your internal skill dashboard. Like we talked about learning data, if we know what are the various skills that our company has, and say we are planning a business goal of D&I, of digital transformation, do we have, and we just put that, okay, this is a KPI, digital transformation, What are the skills which are needed to drive digital transformation? Do we have those skills? Can we build those skills, or should we buy those skills? So this is that kind of data. This is one of my favorites, and why we say it. Say in my previous startup, we were 4 co-founders, and by the time we were getting acquired, we were around 250 employees. The entire team we had below the founders, because you can't leave as a founder unless you have a stable team. We had a team of 20 to 22 managers. All of them were homegrown employees who joined us as freshers, stayed with us for 7 to 8 years, because the organization believed in internal mobility. So this is a simple thing that, okay, I have a resource, my sales is getting digitized. Can I move these people to marketing, because I need people in marketing? So this is before hiring for any position or skill, you can actually look within your internal data, do I have people with this skill? For example, in our digital marketing, right now we needed a lawyer for agreement validation. And our digital marketing guy is extremely good with negotiation. So we couldn't afford to hire a lawyer. We got him this additional skill that now you are the one, we are nominating you to negotiate on our agreements. So these are all these dashboards or all these conversational AI agents will not lie in a software, maybe 2, 3, 5 years down the line. They'll be there on place of work. So we are working on Microsoft, we are working on, say, Microsoft Outlook, or we are writing a code. Wherever we are, that's where we'll see this agent who will actually tell us, hey, Sarita, you're due for promotion. Do you know what should you learn? Hey, Sarita, most likely your job is becoming obsolete. Are you ready for your next role? Hey, this is how you can grow in your organization. Do you want to know what you want to learn? So these kind of conversational chatbots, which will lie in your system and which will take you to the software, that's the change that we are looking at. So thank you everyone for having me. This is how these agents are going to look like. Right now, this is how they look, but they'll be in place of work for you. So thank you so much. Any questions for me?
Do we have any questions, please? You can ask. All right, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in. May I invite Ms. Rini Ajit. Ma'am, can we have you here from Eco Mobility, Head Human Resources. Ma'am, please join in and present a small token of appreciation to Ms. Sarita Chaudhary, ma'am, for joining in here today and giving us such an insightful session. Thank you so much.